That was really loud. Oh, Accidente. I'm going to show you all Accidente. Hang on a second here. Oh, no, that's not it. And Un Accidente. Oh, and a busted guy. I'm going to move over here. Busted. Okay, sorry. I'd just get a kick out of that. Anyway, I'm sure the guy got pulled over is not getting a kick out of that, but that's what he gets for driving with the janky trailers that's dropping shit on the highway. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. This won't be a super long live stream. KP Heathen, what's going on? Oh, another DPS trooper. They are out. I just saw 2 state troopers, so I'm going to be hands-free on this live because I don't want to get pulled over. But, folks, I saw on the news this morning that the food banks and, what's it called? Second Harvest, the food bank. Hey, Gene. Hey, KP, Dan, Farmer, Vision. Good morning, good morning. Neil and, KP again. So, oh, by the way, I will say in advance, trolls who come in and start immediately calling people things like child molesters and cursing, my mods are absolutely free to whack them immediately. I've decided I will take a tolerance policy toward people like that who just come in and start insulting folks. Channel I follow, actually on another platform, made the mistake of getting into it with the person in the chat, and they put him in jail. He had and he was a big channel. He had like 100,000 followers. They put him in jail for 2 weeks. Not because of what the person put, but because either he left it in the chat or he got antagonized. And yeah, they're just whatever. We don't need to play with those folks. But in any case, so Second Harvest, the food bank, the Mission Agapes, all these little food-centric things. They had the president of Second Harvest for Texas get on the news this morning, and he said, look, times are hard. We've got extra people in. We called for volunteers. The community stepped up. We have 5 churches, a synagogue, and a mosque all doing food collections and bringing us the food so we can redistribute. And he said the community has stood up. The community has shown up. We have double the people we expected. And he said, we'll face this challenge as a state of Texas. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. We need that. That's what we need more of. We need more of people lifting each other up. Yes, Neil, that's absolutely right. Be kind, be helpful, be respectful. And what is that? Oh, that's a maintenance guy. Good Lord. I saw a guy on the side of the road, and I'm like, oh no, a man, like I thought a motorcycle crashed, and it was a maintenance guy. You know, the roadside guys with the yellow vest he's doing trash collections. They got the whole crew out here. Man, I was about to you're about to watch me pull over and be like, there's a man down. No, but apparently not. Seal, I think it depends on the mosque, much like a church. You have some that are more hardline and some that are more modern. I know there's an imam in, I think it was Houston, he believes that they need to take the lessons, basically the good things from his faith, and bring them into the 21st century, but not live in the 7th century, if that makes sense. And this poor guy now, the Iranian, whatever it is, Khomeini, put a fatwa against this poor guy. And I'm like, no, we need more guys like him who are like, hey, look, these are ancient lessons. Let's apply them to the modern day. But yeah, to your point, it's mainly churches there. Folks, now's the time to check on your neighbors, check on your friends. You may not have money to support. You may not have extra food to give out. But you can definitely, if you have some time, you can definitely, volunteer some time, help pack lunches. I know the local schools were asking for backpack buddy donations. And for those of you who have not heard of a backpack buddy, essentially what it is, a lot of kids who are in need, right? They get, the state knows they get a lunch at the school every day, and a lot of schools can do breakfast and lunch. It's a little breakfast and then a lunch. So the school district knows, okay, the kids are getting 2 meals a day during the school week, but then and the weekends, if mom's working and dad's working, which tends to be the case in a lot of families out here, and they're not making ends meet for whatever reason, or it's a widow or widower, the parents may not be home on the weekends, so the kid's at home alone, and they have limited availability of food. Hey, Watchman, good morning. Hey, Farmer. So what they're doing now is they're sending the kids home with a little paper bag. And at first they tried to do nutritional stuff, but the kids weren't eating it. So they changed gears and said, you know what, we're just going to give them stuff so they eat something. They eat calories. They have intake. So now it's like Pop-Tarts, ramen noodles. Probably not the best thing for the kids, but at least the kids are getting some type of food on the weekend. It's cost effective, and the kids, they know the kids are getting fed. Albert Pike, stature again? Calories. Yeah, basically calories. They really need to, they're trying to make sure that the kids have something. And I'm okay with that. It's what it is, right? They're doing the best they can. They want to be sure the kids eat something on the weekend. So, hey, Rooster, what's going on? This Mexican, he paid me on Tuesday and what he owes me. He called last night. That sucks, Rooster, sorry. But yeah, now's a great time for us to reach out to our community. There's a pastor went online, and he has a small church. He said, I only have a 200-person congregation. A lot of people have tried to tithe. Not everyone could. But he said, I don't have the money to feed everyone or pay their bills, but he's doing a pancake breakfast on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to make sure that the children are eating a breakfast and that they can put eyes on those children and the families every week. So, because he said, I know the kids are getting lunch at school, but I'm making sure that they're going to eat something on the weekend. He says it's all we can afford. And I'm like, you know what? That's okay. That's what the church should be for. Giving to a church should not be for the lead pastor to own a Lamborghini, which I've seen some of that in Houston, and I'm not going to mention the guy who I've seen do that because that pisses me off. But, it's for the church cause, but also to give back and to assist others, and that's the way it should be. And then there've been a lot of little pastors, and one big church has actually said they're doing a fundraiser, they're doing collection, and they've reached out to the smaller churches in the country, and they're going to have the small churches go to the big church, divvy up the food, and take it back. So now the big church is kind of like the collection center for the smaller congregations. And I'm like, that's the way it should be. And to Watchman's point, and Watchman, I was going to go there actually, kind of jumped the gun on me, but that's okay. That's perfectly valid. We're seeing government workers, the ATCs, air traffic controllers, a lot of agents and whatnot are running low on funds or they're not getting paid. This, not just the EBT, is certain, and I don't know, I keep hearing different stories about which people are not or are getting paid. But the holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving and Christmas are going to be very heavily traveled year. That's one of the heaviest traveling periods of the year. And you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be backed up because they're not going to be enough TSA agents. They're not going to be enough air traffic controllers, workers, etc. So what's going to happen is, like, my wife and I already talked, and if we can't drive where we want to go, we're just not going to go. We're not flying. And so what's going to happen is people are not going to fly. So they're not going to spend that holiday money at the restaurants, at the stores. People are going to cut back. It's going to have a trickle, what did I say last time? Trickle up effect. It's like peeing in the wind, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. People can't afford the day-to-day, so they're going to focus on the day-to-day and not buy or spend money on the travel, the holidays, the vacations, the Christmas gifts. And what's going to happen is they're going to spend less. You're going to have less velocity of money in the economy. That's going to shrink GDP. So this can very well become a real shit show. Not November 3rd. You know, everyone's like, oh, November 3rd. No, it's a delayed effect. Remember when we had the COVID supply chain issues, and I had said, you're not going to see the prices go up right away. It's going to take 6 to 8 weeks before we start seeing it, about 6 months before it takes off. I was right. I was within a month of the whole thing. It's not that I'm clairvoyant. It's just if you understand how everything comes together, you can see, oh, it takes a minute for things to go through the system. And it goes both ways. If they do rate cuts, let's say they pass a bill tomorrow, right? Special session, boom, everyone's paid. The machine starts to turn. It's going to be 2 weeks before funding, and it's going to cause a mini dip in the market. So, no, and Beans, I'm sorry, I can't see your name. Yeah, some churches do great things, some do not. I'm not a super churchy person. I had a great church home. I had another one that I saw what was going on I did not like. And then I found another really good one when the company moved me. So we've got to find a new church home. We've just been busy with family, and we kind of probably need to spend a little time more on faith. But either way, yes, I agree with you 100%. You can find some great congregations that are out there doing the food bank thing, doing the community thing. But this is my point. It may get worse before it gets better. But I would encourage everyone, if you're prepared, see if you can help someone. If you can't help them with items or product or money, you can help them with some of your time and advice, right? Pay it forward in that way. Good advice is worth its weight in gold. Now, they may or may not take it, and if they don't take it, that's their problem. I have people in my family who I've warned repeatedly, hey, you know, the economy could tank, hurricanes, floods, you know, stuff happens. Oh, you're paranoid, you're watching too many Tom Clancy movies. Okay, fine. And then when a hurricane hit, they called me to come pick them up on the other side of the city, and the roads were 4 feet of water in their area. I'm like, I can't do that. Even if my truck could make it, if I blow out a tire, my truck is hosed. Or I get swept into a bayou because I can't see that the bridge is out. And what have I accomplished? I now lost my vehicle, maybe even my life, because you didn't listen to me. There's only so much you can do. So all we can do, try to do the best you can, giving snap to invaders. Yeah, and what's funny is, so I've told you about my Cuban Uber drivers. I ran into another one at a store. He was a, what's the guy? It's like Uber Eats, but not Uber Eats, the other guy, DoorDash. He had the DoorDash shirt on, but I could tell by his Spanish he was Cuban. And we're in line, and he was just talking to his wife. I guess it sounded like he was talking to his wife, but he had a pickup that he was checking out. And I talked to the guy, and I was like, hey, how are you thinking? He's like, people don't know how good they have it here. He said, in Cuba, you got an allotment. You got a loaf of bread every day, and you got 2 eggs, and that was it. He said, look at the store, even in bad times here, look at the store. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. And he goes, and then he gets angry. He goes, but you know what? We need to stop bringing communists in the country. And then I got another lecture. This is my 3rd Cuban immigrant giving me a lecture about how evil communism is. And it's funny as shit. And I'm like, did you get your green card? He's like, well, I got my work visa. I guess he got a whatever the hell visa. And he said, and soon I will go to the judge, and my wife will get the card before me because she came here first, and she's a nurse or something. Anyway, he was telling me this whole story. And I'm like, dude, you're the type of people we need here. Like, you guys want to work, you're out here, you kind of get it, and you've been through a country that was so screwed up that you couldn't even buy food. And now you can have new meaning for November. DoorDash, yeah, no kidding. That's true, Watchman. That's a good one, actually. That would be a great t-shirt. DoorDash means something different in the apocalypse. See, and then Vision will start talking about his special blend stuff. Yeah, I won't even go. Anyway, we'll leave the we leave the sick jokes to Livingston and Vision Preparedness. But folks, now's the time. Stock yourself up. But if you can help someone else in the family or a friend, do that, right? This is what we kind of prepared for, right? We stopped preparing for zombies a long time ago, right? We've been watching the economy, right? Neil's talked about it, Watchman's talked about it, and I know a lot of you see things differently, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree. If anything, it's healthy because it keeps all of us kind of in a box a little bit, like, but it lets us be aware that everyone's seeing something a little different. But this is what we were prepared for, right? This is what we're thinking about. Gator's got to eat. What did you think? UFC fighter that denounced Trump? I don't know. I hadn't seen that. I heard about it, but I hadn't read it. But again, he spam risk is, but I'm kicking their ass if I ever meet them. Truly. Hudson Valley, woo! What's up, buddy? So, all right. So I think I just kicked somebody off. Make sure I didn't kick somebody off. Make sure I didn't kick the wrong person off. Oh yeah. I do not see work. And he's gone. Man, he wasn't in there very long, was he? See, so these trolls are either mentally ill people, or I actually think they're bots. Like there's, you know, you've seen the Chinese hacker forums. They just have a bunch of cell phones plugged into like YouTube and Instagram, and it's connected to a computer, and it just spits out random shit that's irrelevant. One person, I got called a lesbian by a troll. I was talking about cooking in this video, and it just puts out lesbian. I'm like, who, me? The other guy? Who? So off. Yeah, I've seen, hey Coffee, hey Loretta, I've seen so much weird stuff. There was a study came out last week, I think, and they said that 30% of the accounts on YouTube, 40 to 50% on TikTok are bots. Or OnlyFans girls, one or the other. So, or maybe they're both. Maybe the bots are the OnlyFans girls. I don't know. But anyway, folks, now's the time. If you can help your community, great. At the very least, if you are taking care of your own home and family, and you're not a burden to the community, that gives, for every one of us that's prepared, the food bank can focus on maybe an, because we took care of our own business, right? Only bots. That actually, that's funny. That reminds me of that movie, with Megan Fox. What does she play? Subservience, where she plays the AI maid, but then it goes really bad. Then it gets really violent. It's creepy as shit. Like, you're watching it going, wow, Megan, and all of a sudden, things happen and, death. And then you don't want to touch AI after that. You're like, oh no, that's just bad. Watchman, resend the email. I've been so far behind on watching emails and replying. So anyone who's emailed me, I apologize. Okay, awesome, Hudson. See, and these are little things we can do. Guys like Hudson, myself, we're all trying. Like I said, I'm visiting family, and what they choose, if they can distribute or help, that's great. I know I've got my daughter right now, who's in the West Coast, is a former vet tech, so she's offering, I think she was offering neighbors who needed help and who weren't able to get out. She's not licensed in that state. She's licensed in Texas. Check of the dog to the program, basically like the foster programs that's for free or low cost. And she can refer them, but they don't have to go to a vet first and then go to the clinic to get the shots. Like she's going to try and help them with that. Because a lot of elders have a companion dog or a service dog. And so she can at least do the wellness check and say, hey, when you go to the vet or you go to the clinic, do these things and ask them these things, because this is what I see in your canine. and then they can go and do that, and it saves them time and money. All of us have a skill or knowledge. If there's an elder who needs their lawn mowed, go mow their lawn. Save them $20 for that. Or if you have a shithead high school kid, like I used to, because I had several, I'd be like, you know what? Go clean the neighbor's yard because you're an ass. You have no idea how many yards my sons cleaned for free because they were being an ass, especially the middle one. Oh, you need something to do. You want to be smart to your sister? Here, why don't you go there and pick up the poop out of Mr. Jones' yard? Because he's an elder and he's with a cane and shit. Go pick up his dog shit. Right? And then I wouldn't go. I would send his brother because his brother would rat him out. But, yeah, bug out Southeast Asia. So vintage, I have a great friend who loves Thailand. I think he's going to retire there. And every vacation he gets, he's in Thailand. And he said the same thing. He said, don't go to Myanmar unless you know people or go in the city. He said, that's scary. Philippines in the main part of the islands and Thailand in general. And he said Vietnam was really nice too. But they actually shoot criminals in Vietnam. Like, yeah, if you rape a woman, you're going to get hung or shot or something. So I guess depending on the culture, I guess communism works in certain places, because he said they had plenty of food and the people had great hospitals. So I guess it depends, right? But anyway, that's a whole nother video. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Well, thanks, Vintage, because I'm super interested. Oh, did we have another stupid person making comments? Awesome. Bye, Matthew. Thank you, Coffee, and thank you, KP. But anyway, folks, now's a great time. Do what you can for your community. Do what you can for people around you, even if it's just advice, even if it's skill. If you have a neighbor who has some kids and you're like, hey, did you buy food? And they're like, yeah, but you know, I don't know how to preserve or cook. I'll bring my food saver to someone. I don't care. Okay, well, get your chicken out. Don't leave it in the fridge. It's going to spoil in a few days. It's food saver it. Make room in your freezer, right? And while food saver it, and you know, you can food saver it for them. Show them how it's done. Say, hey, go buy a cheap one. You could buy it on a cheap one on Amazon, like the basic one for about $110, and you can split it into 4 payments, right? So now you're looking at $25 every 2 weeks. That's not super expensive, and help them. And now they've learned a skill. Now the next time she finds chicken on sale, that mom will go, oh, I got a food saver now. I remember what my neighbor showed me. I'm going to buy that chicken on sale, and I'm going to go and show how to do it. So folks, donate if you can. If you can't donate food or time or money, you can donate skills. Teach people. Now's a time where we can show folks why we do what we do, why we try to learn this stuff. And I mean, yeah, it's fun to do, and it's a great community for the most part. But you marry, you can stay. I'm assuming you meant you marry a person, not marry the Philippines. So revise your will. Yeah, update your wills, definitely. Here's showing how hated us and smile. Oh, okay, I lost track of the convo there. Sorry, guys. But folks, now's the time to show folks and learn new skills. There's so many YouTube videos out there about how to do everything from pressure canning to using a food saver. I've done a bunch on food saver. I've done meal preps with the stuff those years ago and showing people how to make a full-blown meal for a family with 2-year-old frozen food preps, how to defrost it, how to cook it, how to season it, so you get a good product and you get a good piece of food out of it. Go do some research, folks. So anyway, I just want to say, you know, we can be the calm in someone's storm. We can be someone that, and be smart, right? If people are being crackheads and violent, don't be part of that shit. But you'll know, use your discernment. You know, God gave us the gift of discernment, and most people don't use it right. Use your discernment and say, this person may genuinely need help, and this person is the devil. And, you know, behave accordingly. And if you can show them skills, knowledge, maybe spend some time with folks. And if you can give them food or maybe donate cash to a food bank, wonderful. But if you can't, there are other things we can do. And at the very least, if you take care of yourself, you're not a burden to those organizations that have to help some folks who are truly in need. So folks, be good, be safe out there, stay blessed. And actually, I'm gonna be passing the train wreck that happened 6 months ago, and the train cars are still scattered all over the field. So if they're still there, I'm gonna pull over and do a quick video of that, if the construction guys don't run me off, just so you guys can see what a real train wreck looks like up close. Anyway, be good, be safe, God bless all of y'all. Be careful out there this weekend, and try to do the right things. Let's show who we can, who's willing to listen, why we do what we do. You guys take